Okay, after walking back up Main Street, uh, passing again the Hotel Bethlehem and the Gundy House, this is the Sun Inn. The Sun Inn is important. It was built in 1758 because the Moravians knew they were going to be having visitors. And therefore it gave people who were coming into town some place to reside on their travels. And so the Sun Inn was a perfect location for that. Now, we have what looks like an alleyway here, but in fact, this is the original front of the Sun Inn because these buildings, these brick buildings that you see today, were not here. So if you were in the Sun Inn, you could literally look all the way across the Lehigh River and see the other side of South Mountain. None of these obstructions would have been here back in 1758 when this building was constructed. The Sun Inn is also famous because of the various people who stayed here during its time as the main inn for the town. People like George Washington, Martha Washington, the Marquis de Lafayette, all would have stayed at the Sun Inn during this time. Mr. Pulaski, who had been injured during the course of the American Revolution, also stayed here in Bethlehem. The Marquis de Lafayette, who also was recovering from battle wounds, also stayed here before moving into the local community. And so this was really a hot spot for many of the notables of the American Revolution. And Bethlehem was really important, as we talked about before, because it supplied the Continental Army with a lot of material. The other major purpose of the Moravian community, we're going to edit that out. Let me start over. So, pausing. The other major contribution of the Moravian community to the American Revolution was a location to put in battle wounded and sick. As you can imagine, in the 18th century, most soldiers suffered not from battle wounds, but in fact from illness. Particularly during things like the encampment at Valley Forge, they had to have a place to send ill soldiers. One of those places was Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, because of the number of large structures here. And so areas like the brother's house or sister's house could be converted into hospitals for convalescing Continental soldiers. And many Continental soldiers, in fact, were stationed here, so many of them died here. Many of them did recover, however, and returned to the Army. And so there was a major Moravian contribution, not just here in Bethlehem, but also in other locations in Pennsylvania, like Emmaus and in Nazareth. And so this was a major draw for people like George Washington and the Marquis de Lafayette to come and visit places like Bethlehem and stay here.